Hey guys, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. So we're gonna just go ahead and continue with the energy of Jay-Z and Beyonce and ask about their careers separately and their just lives going forwards, what we need to know. So this one is gonna be about Beyonce, and then if it doesn't take too long, we'll do Jay-Z. Otherwise, we'll do it in a separate video. So we'll just go ahead and get started here. So Spirit, what do you want us to know in regards to Beyoncé Knowles Carter, her life over the next few years, what she has in store? Will we get more music from her, or is she really going to actually lay low and just live her best mom and wife life? What can we expect from Beyonce? What should we know, Spirit? You ask me with the intention of clarity and understanding. See, I tell you guys, I have lists. I get to them. You just wait for Spirit to tell me it's okay to start reading on people. And that's when we do it. Because when you guys come to me for a reading, you're giving me permission, right? Beyonce's not coming and giving me her permission to read on her, so I have to get permission from God to be able to do it, you know? So I wait for that approval, and they say, okay, go ahead. It's talking about how she went through like a really hard time with her marriage again recently, but now they're back in a better place again. He has the tendency to sort of be the King of Swords with her at times. And it's not so much like, oh my God, like he's actually like screaming and yelling at her or anything like that. It's more, he'll be distant from her. So especially if he's stressed out like about anything like financial, or like, oh my God, you know, I have to decide like if I'm gonna go ahead and like bankroll somebody's tour or something that he really feels like is gonna take a lot of his energy and concentration, he just gets really distant from her. And that always leads her into thinking, oh my God, you're cheating on me again. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's actually what's happening. It's just that it puts her in that mindset, because obviously she's dealt with that in the past. And in the past, when he was being distant with her, it was usually because he was entertaining somebody else. So they were fighting a lot, and she was accusing him of doing things and very suspicious of him. But he actually wasn't, I don't get that he actually did, you know, cheat or was doing anything. I think it was just bringing up old stuff that they still needed to work on and heal from that hadn't been completely dealt with yet. But now I do feel that they were able to work through that, and so they are in a much, much better place now, which is bringing her a lot of relief, because she really does want her marriage to work, especially for her kids' sake. So the idea of like having to walk away like and tell the kids like mom and dad aren't going to be together anymore really, really is really heartbreaking for her. And Spirit's chiming in and talking about like a lot of the stuff that she has dealt with the cheating and overcoming that, and them actually being able to save their marriage, you know, versus like her own parents who did not. She sees this as her breaking a generational curse and showing her kids like, your parents did have a successful relationship, even though I didn't get to see that myself. So she does try really, really hard for the kids to make sure that they're in a good place. And so Right now, they're doing well, but like I said, they did come out of a little bit of a hard time there for a minute. But Spirit's saying they both have a tendency to sort of have moments where they're a little more tapped into their careers or other things than each other. They always stay very connected to the kids, but they do have a tendency to get so wrapped up in like, oh, I'm writing an album, I'm rehearsing for a tour, that like they neglect one another. And then they sort of get caught up in, you know, oh, well, our connecting time is when we're on stage together. No, you guys are working. That's not actually date night. You know, like you guys like having a concert in Minneapolis where you're the performers and then you're eating a cheeseburger in the bus on the way to the next like tour stop. That's not date night. That's you guys working. Like you guys actually need like real date night. But I do feel that over this like pandemic era where, you know, she released Black as King and she had more time to herself. And like, okay, like I don't have all these constant huge projects looming over me. I can actually sit down and like be in the same room as my husband and talk about something other than work. Like I do feel like there's a lot of like hanging out, watching movies, drinking glasses of wine, listening to music, talking about, oh, remember when we went to Germany and that one lady like tried to give us that weird hot dog to eat and like you were telling her no, like, and funny stories, memories and stuff. Like they've been reconnecting a lot is what Spirit is showing me. And it makes her really happy. That's the way to Beyonce's heart, is like the actual simple shit. Like you could give her every Birkin bag in the world and she'd just be like, okay, thank you, those were nice. But like if you literally came to her and was like, hey girl, let's make some cookies and like hang out, like that's like what gets her. Very Virgo. Because they tend to go out there and achieve so much that, you know, they don't get impressed by big things and they do hold on to the stuff that they love because they really are very like grounded, you know, family people when it comes down to it. Okay, well, I like this. They've definitely been having a great old time together because there's this Wheel, Lovers, and Ace of Cups. So there's a lot of connecting, and then we also have this Ace of Swords, so there's a lot of communicating, a lot of connecting emotionally and physically. And so because this wheel is turned to where they're now in this happier place, she's finding him very sexy right now too. She's really seeing him as like this emperor and like as this Queen of Cups. It's like, oh baby, like yes, like I love seeing this side of you. Like when Jay-Z is all about like in his like either really being like dad mode or being like boss mode, like that's what gets Beyonce going. Like she likes creative Jay, she thinks that's fun, but like power moves and dad moves Jay is what gets her like motors going, is what Spirit is saying. They're trying to decide. She does want to still, like, you guys, it's really hard for her right now because she wants so badly to work. She's not used to this. Like, she loves it, but then there's a part of her that feels guilty. Like, shouldn't I be doing something though? Like, I could manage to spend half the day in the studio and half the day, like, downstairs in the playroom with the kids. Like, do I really have to just full throttle, like, give everything up? And then when she starts thinking about it, like, because she feels so emotionally, like, fulfilled in this moment, it's like, no, I want to sit at home. Like, I want to work on babies. I want to make, you know, I want to redecorate the living room. I want to do, like, mom and wife stuff that I really have not done a whole lot of so far because I've been working nonstop. So she's battling herself in that, I mean, which is, again, such a Virgo. So let's see. Spirit, what exactly is Beyonce going to do next? Is she going to surprise us and drop something, or is she actually really going to stay away? What do we need to know? Well, she's definitely gonna take her time away, you guys, because again, I'm getting the pregnancy card for her. So she's gonna be laying low. She's gonna be writing a lot while she is, like, you know, laying low, because I do still get this magician creative energy behind her, like she can't shut it off. Also, it's talking about, like, during her pregnancy, she's going to be very connected to, like, her dreams. And I keep getting stuff about, like, nighttime being a time where she's really open and receiving, like, all this information, like, in her dreams. And, like, that's where this creativity is blooming from. So Beyonce would literally be, like, you know, in the middle of your pregnant sleep and you just, like, pop up and it's like, where's my notebook? And she's writing down, like, ideas for the next album, the next, okay, and these are the visuals I want and everything, because it's talking about during this pregnancy that she has coming. That's where the next big project that we're gonna get from her, that it will be along the lines of a Lemonade, a Black is King type project. It is going to be created, written, envisioned while she is pregnant. Obviously, it will take a while for her to come out and present it to us, because obviously those things take time as well. But that is where that is coming from, that pregnancy energy. So I keep feeling a lot more goddess energy on this next album as well. And her connecting and, like, showing us sides of different deities and not just so much Oshun that we have in the past. Jay-Z will play a part in this next project as well. I wouldn't be surprised, you guys, if this wasn't something like, and I know this sounds completely crazy, like, they go spend a year in South Africa and literally Jay-Z and Beyonce lock themselves in the basement and make this album entirely just the two of them. But it's her singing. Like, he's not rapping, but it'd be, like, written and produced by Jay-Z, performed by and written by Beyonce, and it would literally be like, we just completely, like, did this together. Or if it isn't, like, specifically that, there is some big role that he is playing, though, like, in her career going forwards. They both want to take things in a different direction, too. Like, he's over the music stuff. Like, he doesn't really mind, like, coming out and being like, yeah, I'll spit a verse or whatever. But he really wants to be way more focused on investments, on businesses, on growing their brand and diversifying. But he has a vision for her that he feels like she's going to do, like, a different kind of music and something different for the next album. And I know every one of Beyonce's albums always carries a different sound anyways. So I'm excited to see what that is, because, like I said, I just keep getting, like, we're going to see stuff that we just, like, never imagined, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to have a very strong message behind it. And I feel like it being almost this ode to like her children and her family life. And that's why like it's like, because this is so personal to me, the only person that I could trust, you know, to play any part in the production or in any of this was my husband, because he is, you know, in this family and everything. But it is going to be a really beautiful, touching thing is what Spirit is saying. And I feel like it brings a lot of healing to them as a family, but also to people who listen to it, the same way that we feel that way from other, you know, songs that she's put out. So I think we're gonna go ahead and end that here. I need to get some water because my voice is just getting shot, so that I can come back and do the Jay-Z one. And then I did have another reading I wanted to do tonight before I'm done for the night for good. But I love you all so much. If you wanted to book your own personal private reading with me, all my information will be in the description box below. There is a coupon code to get 40% off a phone reading with me, and that is listed below as well, so make sure you check that out. And that special will only be good until January 3rd. So I love you, and I will see you all again soon. Bye, guys.